Hello and welcome to today's brilliant lesson. It's Monday and as usual my enthusiasm is sky high, or I guess ceiling high, but or maybe just at the top of my... I don't know. Well, anyways, so I've got two pieces of news for you. One of them is I created a section on my website dedicated to panoramas I tend to take. I'm not very good at it, but at least it's nice. Now, of course, nobody is really interested in the English countryside, or, well, maybe they do, but I want to do this in Hungary as well. And because this weekend I'm going back to Hungary, you might be able to see some new panoramas about the country, especially the countryside, because that's more exciting than the city. Also, it's hard to make panoramas in the city, though we'll see. I'll try, who knows. It does require quite a bit of equipment, so if I meet up with friends, I'm not necessarily in the business of making panoramas. But anyways, so let me know if there's a particular place you're interested in. I will probably not go there, because I go back to run some errands and meet up with friends and family, but still, who knows, I might go to that place one day. Anyways, the second piece of news is the sentence we have, because that's brilliant and interesting as usual. So here is what it is. It's definitely about some sort of sheep, I guess. I do love that the plural of sheep in English is supposed to be sheep, but anyways, this is not an English lesson, so let's try to translate this and try to understand why this is here. So here we go. The first one is in Hungarian and, well, it doesn't really mean anything. Or does it? Well, you know, Google Translate is really useful, but sometimes it just doesn't give you that extra bit of info that Verbix would probably give you. So there you go. It's give. Now, let's try to write give, but what sort of person? And is it plural? Or is it definite or indefinite? I mean, there is definitely the T here, which probably means this one is a sheep, but that is the object of the sentence. But what about the subject? Who are we talking about? So Verbix will give you all the things that you need. And I might not need it, but still, it's nice to scan through it every once in a while. So there is present indefinite, there is nothing here. I mean, sure, you can take the shortcut and press Ctrl F, there you go, but still, it's nice to scan through it not to memorize everything, because that would be insane, but to familiarize yourself with it. Because after all, somehow, I'm aware of this, somehow I possess the knowledge as a Hungarian person, although I possess the knowledge as patterns rather than individual words. And patterns are there, they are fairly similar, apart from exceptions. This is the standardized conjugation of verbs, all the possible conjugations that you can get. So odd is definite and imperative, which is great, because in English imperative is simply the verb, just like it comes from the dictionary. Now, what about this one? Again, I don't know, maybe Google Translate is not feeling well or particularly well today, but how about just find the root? And of course, you know, if you play around with this, even with Birka would probably give you the same thing, but you might notice that Birka in the dictionary is the proper verb, a word. So, right. What about this one? This is oddly familiar. Could it be another possessive? Who knows? Well, it's definitely singular, because that's just one sheep. And what about this one, the D, or odd, and in this case odd, because, you know, this is already an O, and when it comes to connecting vowels, Hungarian loves to play around. Anyways, so this is your sheep, second person, and there is the T. So I guess in English that would be your sheep, and that's it. Maybe it deserves an exclamation mark. And what about this one? That, I can tell you, will not make sense in English at all. So give here makes no sense. Give your sheep here, no. So what about that? Well, as you might be aware already, Hungarian and English are different languages, which is great. That's the excitement of it. But sometimes English and Hungarian express things in a vastly different way. I know this is not the first we've encountered it. And in this case, instead of using something that references me, such as me, give me your sheep, in Hungarian we don't personify these kind of things, so we just use the prefixes. In this case, give it here, which is probably near me, essentially meaning that give it to me. But in Hungarian, it's here, or maybe there, or away, or back, something like that. As you can see, knowing the prefixes, the list of prefixes, is quite useful because translation is all about recognition. Recognizing the word, recognizing the sentence pattern or the grammar behind it, and recognizing the cultural difference. A reference, in this case, is not really a famous writer or author. In this case, it is simply just a prefix as opposed to some sort of pronoun. So all I need to do to fix it and give you a proper translation consisting the same amount of letters, weirdly, is this one. Give me your sheep. And that concludes our lesson, or whatever you want to call this. I guess it's still my vlog series, but instead of doing whatever else that I don't know anything about, I present things that I know stuff about. Also, games are less interesting than the Hungarian language, I guess. Anyways, the point is that it's fairly hard, it's fairly advanced, but there is nowhere else to go now. There's nothing we can do. This is the only way to proceed. Now, I know that you might have random questions, which I always encourage you to ask. So there you have it. Don't forget to check out the document, give me your suggestions, or give here your suggestions, or there in that case, and have a great day. I'm looking forward to this week. Ah, God, it's only Monday. This is gonna be excruciating. Anyways, bye-bye.